Hi everybody, it's Alison, and how is everybody today? Today I have a little bit of a coaching session for you, and it's all around the kind of idea about starting your own business. What is the next thing for you right now? What is it that you need help with right now? So we're going to lead into lots of different things here, talking about money, talking about pressure, talking about how you can move yourself forward, etc., etc. And this has come about because so many people have obviously not been doing very well with their businesses, or they've lost their job, especially teachers. But what I've observed through helping lots of people start their own businesses, obviously managing my own, and also working with other people, other amazing entrepreneurs and teachpreneurs I work with globally now, is that some people are super smart when it comes to business and money. And how can you learn from that? How can everybody learn from that? Because I certainly learn from that. I've got some super smart friends, especially when it comes to money, and these people are very intuitive about their business decisions, all decisions, but mostly their business decisions. So I want to share some of this with you today. So I'm going to lead into two big topics that I find a lot of people, when they're thinking about starting their own business, that they're at. So one is blind spots, one is money. So the first thing is they don't know how to start their own business, or they've kind of led themselves down a bit of an alleyway where there are continuous blind spots that are stopping them from really getting to their ideal goal, because they're just fumbling along the road, or the pathway, if you like, to their ideal goal, and they haven't dealt with the blind spot in the road. The second one is money, where people think, oh, I don't know if should be investing right now. Money is really tight. It's a bit short. I don't really understand all of that business stuff, business money, business expenses. I'm in over my head. Are you getting me? If you're getting me and you're watching this, then leave a little comment down below. And the comment isn't there because I need your comment. This is something else. Comments are really important for me and my little team to see what it is that people really need help with. But more importantly, it's important for you. If you are someone that wants to really take yourself further and learn, so many studies have been done in the fact that when people actually, especially online, when they leave comments, when they're responding to something, and they're retaining the information that they are interacting with a lot better. The other thing, as I'm sure you know, especially if you work in education or you're doing lots of Teams meetings, I've spent the last 2 weeks pretty much in Teams meetings, is that the people that don't have their cameras on are the people that don't interact, and they are always the people that are lost at the end of the business meeting. So keeping your cameras off and things like that is an indicator really of your commitment. How committed are you? And that's just a little indicator for you when you're thinking about yourself in your own business. So let's go back to the money thing. Now, I used to work for years as a bookkeeper, just part-time, when my kids were growing up, when I was blogging and doing lots of other things as well. And when my businesses started doing really well, I was just getting too busy. And when you've got a number of businesses, it was getting quite complex. And I just thought, I'm just going to get an accountant. So I got a chartered accountant. And this woman, it cost me loads every single year, and I thought I was doing the right thing. Eventually, I ended up one year paying a huge amount in tax, and I just was like, how have I paid so much in tax? I know I was making money, but I wasn't aware how much money I was making. And I was like, this is a lot of tax. Why? I need to understand why am I paying so much tax? And actually I was a little bit annoyed, because I wanted to know, like, if you knew I was going to be paying this much tax, you should have been letting me know, and I would have been reinvesting it back in the business. So I wasn't paying as much tax, legally writing it off by buying things that you need for your business. Okay. So I realized that I had hit a blind spot in my businesses, And my fear of not being able to manage my accounts properly, my fear of that, thinking that I would be spending too much or that I couldn't afford to do certain things because of my fear of money, actually made me spend more. Because after that year, I fired that accountant and I went back to doing it myself. And oh my God, everything has changed so much. Obviously, since when I was doing it, it was like pen and paper, the great big books with the columns, and now it's all computerized. And it took me about, well, it didn't take me long, and I just thought, oh, why have I been paying this woman all these years to do this chartered accountant with all these meetings? And I don't know about you, but accountants always have like really cold offices. They're always like so careful with money, and it's a watery coffee and a little biscuit, and it's just not the best experience. So I came to a kind of analogy in my head with this as to why had this happened, and it comes down to this, and I've got my notes here. So quite simply, when we don't understand something and we have a fear of something, we start to make decisions over choices. And this is key I see this so much with people when they're starting their business as well. Their lack of knowledge and their fear of failure, which we're going to come to a little bit, has forced them into making a decision instead of a choice. And that is a bad idea. So what is the difference, first of all? So when I have to make a decision about something, this is normally something that has been like, I feel I'm forced to do something. I'm forced to make a decision. You know, I can't, it's a deadline or this has happened and I'm forced to do something. Okay, that is a decision. The choice is where like my real freedom lies, my freedom of thought, my freedom of expression, and my goals and my beliefs. And that is a big difference between decisions and choices. And this is really, really important, because when you feel that you are making a decision instead of a choice, you start to manage pressure and stress differently. And this is really important in any job, but particularly in your own business. Because if you're going to be a teachpreneur and you're going to be, you know, have your own business, you have to learn how to manage the pressure and the stress. Obviously, it's not going to be, you know, like crucial, you know, to the height of, oh my God, I can't cope. That would be, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about when you're getting started. Okay. So things like, let's just put it like this. If you are in business or you're starting in business and you feel that the pressure is too much, then you have to be able to manage the pressure. Because if you manage the pressure, you suppress it, your energy goes up. It's kind of like scales. And if you let the pressure get too high and because you're not managing it, then your energy goes down. And if your energy goes down, you're not going to be productive, you're not going to be doing things very well, you're not going to be retaining information, and everything's going to start going in the slow lane. And online businesses, especially, you know, I know because I've got a lot of them, online businesses like speed, and speed likes automation. Those things go together very, very well. And that's one of the reasons why the Teachpreneur system is so good, because it automates at the heart of the business, at the heart of the model. It automates everything. And this is so important. So let's get back to the pressure and the energy. Think about it. If you have more energy, you're going to have more motivation. Okay? If you're more motivated, you are more productive. If you are more productive, you increase your opportunity for yourself and then also for your clients. So ultimately, you're increasing your income and your revenue. Because if you increase the opportunity for yourself and your clients, it's a factor of probability and ratio, you're going to be earning more money. But it all comes down to managing the stress, okay, and the productivity. Okay, so I'm going to bring you on to another thing. How do I manage stress? Because I get asked this quite a lot, and how do I manage pressure? So I have a number of businesses, number of brands. When you're working with big companies like Facebook and big brands, there's obviously a lot of pressure that comes with that. You have contracts, you have deadlines, you have this, you have that. I'm also a widow with 2 children, and I also consult for something else, and that probably takes me about 20 hours a week as well. I do a lot of consulting, so I have to juggle quite a lot of balls. So, and there are obviously days when I am tired. There are days when I'm like, oh, what should I be doing like this? What should I be doing today? Or should I leave that? Let's think about this. I'm only human, okay? But how do I really do that? Well, one of them is by simply pure detachment. I don't know if some of you have seen my YouTube videos, and I'm really not bothered about people's opinions. And that's because I make sound decisions that are not driven by emotions. Emotion is very good for marketing. Using emotion in your marketing campaigns is very, very good. But in business, if you start to make business decisions based around emotion, particularly your emotions, that is not a good idea. And ultimately, it's not going to help you. So let me put this another way. If I felt bad about you watching this video now or on replay, and you didn't comment and you didn't like, or you didn't buy from me, if I felt bad about any of those things, or you didn't sign up for the Teachpreneurs program, or you didn't like my YouTube channels, if I was bothered about any of that, if I let my emotion let me be affected by that, what do you think that would do for me? What do you think it would do? It would decrease my motivation to do any more. It would decrease my productivity, and it would decrease my income eventually. So this is one of the reasons. It's not one of the, I've always been a little bit like, well, I'm just going to do what I think anyway, because I've always been in my own canoe. I think you come into life alone, you paddle your own canoe. Sometimes people might jump in the canoe with you, but at the end of the day, you've come into life alone in your own canoe, and that is how you're going to leave it. And I have been in lots of different situations where I've really, really had to be very resistant in life, without income, without opportunity, without all of these things. And it does make you very resistant, and it also helps you to manage your emotions. Because sometimes in life, if you've been left in a situation where you're living on your wits, and your emotion is the thing that is driving you, instead of the emotion mastering you, you learn to master the emotions, and that is key in being a good business owner and a teacherpreneur. Absolutely key. So this is something that you can coach yourself in right now. After you've watched this, really start honing into your own emotions, and by the virtue of the same fact, you can start doing the same thing with your clients. It's really, really interesting, and it's going to be a very productive exercise for you to see what it is you need to be getting a little bit more in sync with. And I've got another little point here. Something else. I don't want anybody to feel too much about this. I don't want people to take this like the wrong way, is what I'm saying. But if you let your emotions control you to the point of saying, oh, well, I can't start my own business, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, what you're doing is you're making decisions based on emotion that are governed by fear. There's a brilliant book I read. I actually read this book after my first divorce. Lying in Ibiza in the sun, not really caring too much about what had happened, but the book was amazing, and it was called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And this was an amazing book, and I will never forget a particular part in the book where it was like, imagine you feel like everything has been taken away from you, and you can relate to this if you're starting a business because you're there with a blank canvas. And quite often, when you've been in a situation, either grievance or divorce or something quite catastrophic like that, there becomes a point often where you're like, oh my God, I've got to start from square one again. And this is very, very good for an entrepreneur, teacherpreneur exercise. So let's say you're at the start of your business, you've got a blank canvas. How are you going to start? Well, if you fill that blank canvas with doubt, fear, emotion, don't know, can't do, won't try, it's not going to be a very nice picture, and you're probably not going to want to look at it or even hang it on your wall. And the idea of this canvas is that it's meant to be it's meant to be like a mirror of your own life. So my business, my life is super, super busy. And one of the reasons I do that is because I know I'm more productive if I am busy. If I have a planned and a full calendar for a certain amount of time, because I do take a lot of time off as well, then I know I will be more productive. I don't care if I make mistakes. I don't look at a mistake as a failure. I look at it as a learning opportunity. If I do something and I think, oh dear, that wasn't quite the result I wanted, then I will find a way of learning from it. And that's all about mindset. You have to decide. And this is really important, actually, if you're thinking about going into business, especially if it's an educational business, you need to think about that, because that's a coaching skill. You are going to be having people come into you, your students or your clients, where they are feeling that they are failing in something. And that's why they've come to you, so that you can help them. So if you cannot shift the balance of your mindset to support them through that, you're going to have a really rocky ride when it comes to being successful in your business. So all of these processes of like thought training, mental mapping, and coaching yourself are invaluable. They are invaluable. They're invaluable for your own existence, so you don't self-destruct, but they're also invaluable for the success of your business. So if you're thinking, I want to start my own business, what's the thing I need to do right now? Get a piece of paper, and on it, start filling it with things that you think you need to do. Don't question, do I need to be doing this? Just fill the piece of paper, first of all, with as many things that you think you should be doing. And do not question at that point whether you should be doing it or not. And if you do that and you're really interested about starting your own business, then come along to my next coaching session, which is going to be next Wednesday. I'm going to start doing them now. We're coming up to winter now, autumn, winter. So every Wednesday, I'm going to do a coaching session live. And if you want to, you can join me in a live Zoom lesson, which I'm also going to be streaming live here. And you can ask questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. Okay, have a wonderful evening, and just think about everything I've said and think about what it means for you. Have a great day. Goodbye.